Hello creative friends, I'm Anastasia and I'm super excited to show you these stylish and budget-friendly decor pieces that I was able to find or make for just a few dollars each. Let's get into it. I always like to browse the throw pillow section of the thrift store, and I ended up coming across this really cute kind of dark bluish charcoal gray throw pillow for just $1.99. And it had this down feather insert inside that looked to be in really good condition. The only thing I found wrong with this pillow was there was a stain on the top left. I could tell it was just a surface stain, and I felt pretty confident that I could get it out. Pottery Barn sells this Belgian linen lumbar pillow that is just about the same size as mine, and they offered theirs with different types of inserts. With the down feather insert like mine has, Pottery Barn's costs $111.50. In this midnight color, it looks very similar to the pillow that I found at Goodwill, with this dark charcoal blue that's kind of discolored and heathered all over to give it this kind of worn and faded look. You can see here in the close-up shot that color variation throughout the pillowcase. So the first thing I always do when I get a thrifted pillow, or really anything thrifted, is I clean it. So I take the case off and wow, this thing is really full of feathers. So I'm just going to remove them the best I can with my hands. And then I'm going in with a lint roller for the tinier feathers. The tag says spot clean only, but it also says it's 100% cotton, which is machine washable. It does have these faux leather tassels, which may be why it's spot clean only. You can actually machine wash faux leather on a cold, delicate cycle, so that's what I ended up doing. Before I put this in the machine, I'm turning it inside out and tucking the tassels inside the zipper so they're better protected while in the wash. I'm putting this in on a delicate cold cycle with a few other items. In just a minute, I'll show you how I clean my feather inserts as well. Once it was done washing, I hung it up overnight to dry. Since this insert is real duck feathers, of course it says dry clean only. But there is actually a really easy way to clean these at home. First, I'm going to take a washcloth and get it saturated in water and then wring it out really well. I'm going to put my pillow insert in the dryer along with the wet washcloth and some dryer balls. I'm going to run this on a regular dryer cycle on high heat. That wet washcloth is going to create steam that will steam clean the pillow. The dryer balls will keep the pillow nice and fluffy. For this having such a cute cover and a really nice feather insert, $1.99 was an incredible price for this pillow. Here is the final look. This really sleek black-footed bowl sells at Crate & Barrel for $89.95. It's very versatile and can be styled on shelves, coffee tables, or as a fruit display in the kitchen. Today, I'll be recreating this look using items I got from Dollar Tree. I found this garden dish. It's plastic, although I wish they'd had it in glass, but it was the perfect shape and size. I also got this fishbowl vase for the bottom of our bowl. This is one of my favorite types of DIYs because it's so easy to make and it looks very high-end. I'll be attaching the bowls to each other like so, using some E6000 adhesive, which provides a very strong hold. Then I'm using some hot glue, which sets quickly and will hold the bowls in place while it completely dries. Setting a heavy coaster on top so that it stays together and doesn't slide around. I'm using this Spackling and nail hole filler to hide the seam between the two bowls. This is a small change that will make a big impact on your piece looking high-end and like it's all one piece. I found that putting some in my hand and rolling it into a little tube shape like this was the easiest way for me to fill every part of the gap evenly. After that dries, I'm taking that black acrylic paint and mixing it with some baking soda. You can adjust the amount of baking soda by adding more for more texture or less for less texture. Once I got mine to this consistency, I started painting it on my bowl. It may be a little hard to see here, but it was developing some clumps, and I think this mixture just wasn't able to stick very well to the slick, unprimed surface. So I decided to add some patching plaster, which I know will help it be able to stick. And I'm adding some more black paint and baking soda to even out the proportions of each. I did 2 coats of this mixture and it came out exactly as I wanted it to look. I'm doing a light sand on any rough areas. The plaster made it dry more gray, so then I went in with 2 coats of just black paint. In a previous video, I turned this bowl into a fall pumpkin centerpiece. So if you'd like to see how I did that, you can click the link in the top right of this video or in the description box below. After it was all dry, I gave it a coat of clear matte protective spray on each side. This is it after it has dried. I can't believe how simple it is to make such a gorgeous pedestal bowl that looks modern and textured and like really a statement piece. Crate & Barrel styled theirs with some fruit, so I'm styling it with some mangoes to add a beautiful pop of color. And this is the finished look. Something Crate & Barrel does really well is their large pottery pieces. I love this large Ophelia vase, but it sells for almost $100. There is craftsmanship here since this is hand-thrown terracotta, so it's definitely an investment if you want this handmade piece. I'm fortunate to have inherited this beautiful pottery vase from my great-grandmother. These marks and discolorations are real signs of age, and I just think it's so beautiful. I believe she may have made this piece because she signed her name in the year 1980 on the bottom. It's really special to me, and I love decorating with it. So I'm styling it with some simple green stems. If your stem isn't sitting quite right, you can use some shopping bags inside the vase to hold it where you want it. This also goes for if you have shorter stems but a taller base. You can just stuff the bottom of the vase with the plastic bags so that the stems have something to sit on and they're more stable. Here is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I really love how these pieces look in my home, and I hope that you got some inspiration for your home. Check out my channel for more content like this, and I'll see you next time.